Hello and welcome everyone. This is Miranda's Crafter and I just want to say thank you for being on my channel and looking at my content. Today I want you to join me in a adventure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set off on a new type of video series that I've never done before, but I think that this is possibly the time for something like this. What I want to do is I want to create a beginner guide on how to play Ark. So we all know that Ark Survival Ascended has not released yet. We understand that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this guide using the game Ark Survival Evolved. It's ran on my system on a local single player game. And I'm basically just going to be going through the ropes of starting a character and playing and learning your way around and learning how to use the abilities that you have available to you and the resources and the dinos and all that. I think because Ark Survival Ascended is fixing to be released, there might be an influx of new players that will buy the game, see the game on the Steam store, Xbox, and PlayStation, and Microsoft store, and decide, hey, I want to try that. I've heard a lot of things about Ark in the past, and now that they've released a new remaster of the version with updated tech, I want to try that. So I think something like this could be really good timing, and I would love for you to join in on this with me. So I'm going to start the process. I'm going to host a local game. I want to play on the island. So I'm going to make sure this is selected. And why the island, you say? Why don't we go to Genesis, or why don't we go to Scorched Earth, or some of the other maps? Well, the reason why I want to do the island is because that is going to be the new player experience for Ark Survival Ascended. It's going to be on the same map as the island on Ark Survival Extinction. And I think from now on in the video series, I'm just going to refer to it as ASA, because that's a mouthful. But the island is going to be the map that everybody's going to start on. So this is the place where I think we should do our how-to, because this is where everybody's going to be learning that's new. You'll notice I don't have any mods active. And I'm going to click this button right here to restore the game to the default settings so that I'm on the same settings as everybody else as they play a single player game. Now this would be pretty much the same on a unofficial server or, whatever, because if you're going to have to learn how to play the game, you're going to have to go through the same steps of, growing and learning. So I'm going to go ahead and click play single player. Now the first thing a new player would do would be to go to new character creation, but I already have a character created. It's a level 1 human, and it's just where I've started. I haven't made a tribe yet. It's just the default tribe of human. I didn't name it because I didn't create this character right now. I created it, sometime in the past, and I've got an inventory full of junk from all the survivor achievements that I achieved in game. When you die and respawn, you start with all this stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and drop all that because I want this to be like a new player experience. Now you'll know I'm playing on PC, but I'm using a controller. A controller is, yes, I know that a keyboard and mouse is a lot better way to control the game, but for me a controller is just a lot easier because I have an issue with my left hand, so it makes me be able to play the game a lot more comfortably using a controller. So when I refer to, hit X, hit Y, you'll understand that I'm using an Xbox controller. Normally in the game, when you create a character, you'll, choose a spawn-in location. I've chosen the Southern Islets because that's one of the easier places to spawn in at. Right now, you'll see that in my hotbar is pretty much empty. I don't have anything in it. I have some ghost items there from where I played before. Let me get those out of there so that we're not confusing anyone. All my hotbar is empty because I'm a new survivor and I need to start off and learn how to create things and make my way on the island. Starting off at level 1, you'll get your first level pretty quickly just by standing around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put that into weight. And you see, as you apply a level, it unlocks what's called the engrams. These are the blueprints that you use, the ability to craft these items. So right now at level 1, I started with the ability to make a note, a stone pick, and a torch. Now that I've leveled up to level 2, I have the ability to do a campfire, a stone hatchet, and a spear. And then when I get to level 3, you can see that it's grayed out because I haven't got there yet. I'll get to learn to start to make some armor and some stuff that's blacked out because it's not, I guess, on this map. But yeah, you can see as I go up the levels, I learn more and more unique things. And just so much to learn. I mean, there's a lot to learn, and it's just blacked out because I haven't got to that level bracket yet. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is try to make me a stone pick. So I'm going to need to craft, you can see the crafting requirements is stone, thatch, and wood. So I need 1 stone, 10 thatch, and 1 wood. To get the resources in game, you can just, look around and you'll see trees, you'll see rocks on the ground, you'll see wood laying on the ground, big boulders you can harvest from, and, you see your water, you can get a drink. You heard me just drink just then. And you'll see over here on the right side of the screen, you'll see my status indicators. You can see my little drop of water. That's how thirsty I am. The little, looks like a little ham leg there is how hungry I am. The lightning bolt is my stamina, and the overall health cross is how much HP or health I have. You can see the arrow on the right that is filling up gradually shows me how much experience I'm getting to a next level. So when that arrow fills all the way up to the very point, I'll be at level 3. And then right underneath that arrow, you'll see a little weight looking icon. It's kind of hard to see there. When that gets full, that means I can't carry any more weight because items have weight in this game, and your inventory fills up in these squares over here. And as you put more and more and more stuff in your inventory, your weight stat will go up. Right now it's at 0 because I don't have anything in my inventory except for this thing. This is a skin. I'm going to go ahead and just throw that away because I want my inventory to be empty to start with. Now, as I go along, you can see my food stat and my water are going down because I'm consuming them. You'll consume them faster in hot environments or when you're running and your stamina is replenishing, those kind of things. Now, one stat that I'm going to ignore in this how to play Ark is movement speed, because movement speed has been kind of disabled or nerfed or whatever for Ark Survival Ascended, and they've said we're not going to be able to put points into movement speed for humans or dinos. So we're just going to pretend like that one's not there. I don't know if they're going to take it out in the new game or what, but they've definitely said that there's going to be changes to it, and it's not going to work the way it used to work. There's a guy that's going to look like he's going to be our first candidate for taming, but we got a little bit to go before we get there. Now you can change your view if you like. You can play in this mode, or you can hold down the select button and then toggle to third person, and you can go into third person view. I kind of like to play in this version of the game, really, because, oh, that's a bad one over there we want to stay away from. That's a dino called a Trudon, and he's going to wreck us if we get anywhere near him. I like to play in this mode, honestly, because I like to be able to see what's coming from behind and all around me in relation to my character. Some people like to play in first person so that their immersion is better. I get that, but in Ark, you got to see what's going on, so I like to do this right here. That way I can see, what's going on around me. That little dino over there, the one that's running around, he's a really wicked character. He will wreck you. He's called a Trudon, and his bites do what's called torpor on you. It will knock you out, basically. If you ever get attacked by one of those, he'll put you to sleep and then just munch on you till you die, and you won't be able to revive from it. So when you see those things, stay away from them. And as a matter of fact, it's probably a good idea for us to just kind of get out of this area. There's another dino right there that wants to mess with us. It's called the Pegomastix. He runs up and likes to steal what's in your inventory and then run off with it. He doesn't really do any damage, but he likes to steal your stuff. One good way to deal with them, though, is to tame them. And this is probably going to be the first dino that we tame together right here. This is going to be called what's called a passive tame. And the reason why I'm harvesting these plants right here is because I'm gathering berries to eat, and also so that I can have a certain type of berry that will tame this thing for me. Now, most dinos are what's called a knockout tame. You have to physically beat the snot out of them and get them to the point that they're about to pass out before they will actually pass out, and then let you feed them while they're asleep. And as you do that, you tame them. This one, though, however, is called a passive tame. And the way you tame it is you have what's called a mejo berry, the purple berry that's in my inventory right there on the end. And when he jumps up to try to steal what's on me, he'll steal that berry and hopefully tame himself. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if one is enough or not, but we're fixing to get some more here just in case. There's a couple more. And you can see I can harvest from these little fern looking plants, and there's lots of little things that you can harvest from. I just picked up a rock off the ground. I'm harvesting from these bushes. I could actually punch this tree and get some wood and some thatch. There we go. So now I've got enough materials to actually make my pick. So let's do that real quick while we're at it. To make things, you go to your crafting menu and then select the engram that you've unlocked that you want to make. Right now I'm going to make one stone pick. I hit my right trigger, select it, hit my right trigger, and it will craft one for me. And then I go into my inventory, and there it is, my stone pick. So I'm going to select it and then move it down to my hotbar. So now whenever I select that arrow, which is the corresponding indicator of that slot to the left of the D-pad, it equips it, and then if I hit it again, it'll unequip it. So now I've got my pick equipped, and I can use it to harvest things. Or if I get in a bind, I could use it to actually attack something, but it wouldn't do a whole lot of damage. So for right now, though, we're going to try to see if we can tame one of these Pegomastix just for fun, because this is going to be a creature that sits on your shoulder. See if he tries to steal my berry. Oh, he ate the berry, but he didn't get tamed. Well, shoot. It must require a lot more berries than what I thought, because he ran off with it. You can see him carrying it over there, and he's going to hide with it. So what we need to do now is we need to get away from the rest of these, because they're wanting to do damage to us and hurt us. So we need to get away from them. So if you run long enough, you'll eventually get to the point that you get out of the leash of the dino, and they'll untether from you and they'll go about their business again. That was an unsuccessful passive tame attempt, but we survived it, so that's what matters. Okay, so right now you see my arrow to the right is flashing, which means that I have a level that I need to apply. Let's kind of get somewhere where we can see what's going on. And we'll bring up our menu. We've got 2 levels to apply, actually. I'm going to go ahead and put my second one in weight and my third one in weight for right now, because being able to carry a bunch of stuff at the start when I'm trying to get established is really important. So you can see, as now that I'm level, let's see, what level was I think 4. Now that I'm level 4, I have a lot more engrams unlocked than I did before. You can see as a level 4 survivor, I have all these unlocked. Now, some of them unlock, but they have a cost associated with them. Those are ones that you actually have to buy with engram points that you earn by leveling. Right now, I have 73 points available. Ah, here they come again, trying to get me again. They stole my berry and then ran off while we weren't paying attention. I have 73 points available to spend on unlocking engrams. And we'll go ahead and unlock that water skin because that's going to be something that's going to be useful for us whenever we can get some of the crafting components of hide so that we can actually make it. That will help us carry water on our hotbar and we won't have to run to a water source to get a drink all the time. So we're going to go ahead and buy this. Learn water engram, press A. There it goes. I pushed it a couple times and it didn't work. I don't know. A bug, I guess. Okay, so now we've unlocked basically everything up until level 5. And we're getting attacked again. It's trying to steal our stuff again. But there's nothing to steal. We have nothing on us. And we're going to let this one hit us and see what he does. Okay. I guess he just wants to kind of hang out. You want to kiss? There you go. Alright, so we're going to get away from this guy because he's going to bug us while we're trying to learn how to play the game. You're level 3. I wonder how strong you are. I can punch it. Oh, I knocked it out. Okay, so I knocked it out and it's now unconscious. But this is a passive tame, so it has to be tamed while awake. So basically it's just going to lay there and sleep until that purple unconscious meter goes all the way down and then it will wake up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mercilessly kill it though. That way I can get the experience from killing the dino and add to my experience level. You can see the dino's getting bloody as I'm beating on it. And eventually it'll get to the place where it will die. You can see its health cross on its menu is about gone. One more hit and boom, it's dead. So now one of the cool things about Ark is when something's dead, it doesn't just go to waste unless you let it go to waste. You have the ability with your tools to actually harvest some meat and hide from this animal. With a pick, I get more meat than I do hide, but I still get both. And then you can look in its inventory that it dropped and see, you know, what it stole from me, basically, get it back. It stole some stone from me. Okay, so now we've got a few levels under our belt. We've been talking about how to use your hotbar, how to harvest. Now let's go ahead and put some of these items in our hotbar so that we can be eating them and using them when we get them to help us stay strong. I don't know, out of habit, I just usually put the berries towards the end of my hotbar, and I usually put my tools and weapons on the front side of my hotbar for some reason. I don't know, that's just me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to this tree, and I'm going to harvest some wood and some thatch. And then I'm going to harvest a little stone and flint off this rock that's right beside the tree. As you see, as you harvest the whole thing, it goes away. And then it will randomly, there will be another tree respawn in this area somewhere at some point, depending on how the respawn timers are set on the server. Now I'm harvesting a rock, and with a pick, you'll get more stone than you will flint, but you'll get a little bit of each. Or actually, it's more flint than stone, I think. And as you harvest, you get experience from doing that as well. And you see I got a little bit of metal there. That's a higher tier item. That's a lower drop rate on that. You get better tools like metal tools and stuff. You'll get more metal per harvesting attempt though. So for right now, I've got some fiber that I got from plants. I got some berries, which are kind of useless to me right now, so I'm just going to eat them. I got some thatch that comes from trees. I've got some raw meat that I can cook in a fire and make some cooked meat. Little tip here is that you can actually eat raw meat to get some of your food stat back, but it will do some health damage to you because it kind of poisons you. But you know, you can do that if you're desperate. I've got some hide from the animal we killed and I skinned. I got some stone from the rock, a little bit of metal, a little bit of flint, and a little bit of wood. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to craft the other of my two main tools, and that's going to be my hatchet. So now I have a pick and a hatchet, and those are the main tools you need in Ark. to get started collecting resources and, you know, harvesting the animals that you kill and all that kind of stuff. So now I have those two items on my hotbar, and I use them interchangeably because a pick is more efficient. Let me step back on that one. On the tools that you use in Ark, like a pick, a hatchet, a chainsaw, mining drill, those tools are more efficient for different tasks. So like a pick is more efficient for getting stone and flint from a rock than a hatchet would be. Well, actually, I think a hatchet does get more stone than a pick on a rock, but a pick gets more flint. A hatchet will get more wood from a tree than a pick will, but a pick will get more thatch from a tree than a hatchet will. And it's just something you got to learn as you go along, which tool is the better tool for the job based on what you're trying to get. If I was trying to get some flint real bad, I would use my pick on the rock, and it should give me more flint per attempt than stone because the pick is optimized for flint. And then I got a little bit of metal. Now you can see that my weight bar over on the right is filling up because I'm starting to get some inventory in, some resources in my inventory. Now I want to get some wood, so I'm going to switch over to my hatchet. And now you'll see I'll get more wood per strike than I do thatch because I'm using a hatchet. And that's kind of how harvesting works. Now, if you wanted to harvest these bushes and get some berry and some fiber and seeds and stuff like that, you have to actually let go of what's in your hand. So you have to put your hatchet away. And then you can stand next to the bush and push Y, and you'll start to harvest. And you can hold down the Y button until you've taken everything from that bush, and then it will quit harvesting. Or you can tap it, just whatever you want to do. Okay, so I have a lot of resources. I mean, not really a lot, but for me right now, what I have in my inventory is quite a bit because I have not really leveled up very far yet. So one of the first things we need to do is we need to protect ourselves just a little bit better. So we're going to start using our engrams to make some armor. And at this stage of the game, we can only make cloth armor. Now you'll see in the little status indicator has come up the little water droplets and the red symbol around the bottom right of the screen. And you can hear my character going, ah. That's because the character is dying of thirst because my thirst meter has ran completely dry. If I was to look at my stats, you'll see my water stat is 0 of 100. So I get down in near some water and press Y, and boom, you take a drink, and now I'm filled back up again. So my thirst water meter is now at 100 and counting down again. Now you'll see my food is about to run out. So I'm basically fixing to end up starving to death. So what I want to do is I want to eat some of these berries that I've been holding on to in my inventory. And they will fill up my food stat. I'm going to leave the mejo berries in the end because those are useful for taming, because those are a preferred food for a lot of creatures around here for taming, and we'll save those for now. Also, there's another berry we want to save and not eat in our inventory, and that's called a narco berry. These black ones right here, those are useful for what's called making what's called narcotics, and that'll be useful in the taming procedure, and you'll see that here in just a little bit. We also have gathered some stem berries. What those will do is to help you regain stamina if you're running and you're trying to run from something and you suddenly run out of stamina. A stem berry is a good item to use to recover some more stamina so you can hopefully get away. Just be aware that when you use stem berries, it will deplete your water, so you'll start to die of thirst after using too many of those. So let's go ahead and apply this level we have waiting. We're level 5 now. We're going to go ahead and put it, I'm going to put 1 point into stamina so that I can get just a little bit more run juice, basically. Now when you're running in this game, you can run at a slow speed and you can push one of your buttons to sprint. So this is your slowest speed that you move right here. If you push your sprint button, you sprint a little bit faster, and that's useful for getting away from dinos. But just be mindful that that little lightning bolt icon on the right of the screen, your stamina gauge, that will be depleting as you sprint a lot faster than it would if you were to just walk. So keep that in mind, that when you run out of stamina, let's make ourselves run out of stamina so you see what happens here. So we're running, something's chasing us, we're about to die. Let's go back this way. When you run out of stamina, you'll see a little icon come up on the side of the screen that looks like a man that's like bent over exhausted. And then you'll see yourself slow down because you won't have enough stamina to run anymore. Okay, so now you see that little man bent over down there. He's exhausted, and you're trying to run, but you just can't do it because you don't have any stamina. If you stop and wait for just a little bit, your stamina will replenish on its own. So I'm just going to stand here and let it start to go back out. Now you can see my stamina bars refilling. Now, when it does that, it will usually cause you to consume some food that's in your inventory. But I don't have a whole awful lot, so mine was just going to go down. Now, mine would be going down and not up, but I just ate a ton of berries, and it's still trying to catch up from all those berries that I ate. So my food stat is actually filling back up right now. Okay, so we put in, oh, I got another level. See, at the start, the levels come easy. And, you know, once you get to the point that you're, you know, feel like you're a pro at playing Ark, then when you start a new character, you can really get funky with the level gain and do what's called a note run. And that's kind of an advanced tactic to be able to start at a higher level. But it's really neat because as you gather what's called explorer notes in the game, it will boost your XP gain rate, and the more of those that you gather, the faster your XP comes in, the more of the levels you have. When you go on the basic route that most people take when they spawn in on the west side of the island map and do the first initial note run, they can get anywhere from like 58 to 70 when they're done, if they do it right, in just like 6 to 10 minutes. So it may not be the same for Ark Survival Ascended because they may decide to tweak that and nerf that system. But for right now, that's still a viable tactic. Even, you know, a lot of people would take those levels that they were getting and put them into movement speed so that they could then run faster and level up quicker to get to the next note type of thing, because every one you gathered would increase your experience gain rate. But with the speed nerf, that kind of slows that process down. It doesn't kill it. You can still do it, but it's just not as fast as it was before, and you don't end up stacking up that bonus as good as you could before. Okay, so I just wanted to check my inventory real quick. Whoa, got a Pecomastix coming at me out of nowhere. And he got something from me. I don't know what he got. Hopefully it wasn't something I needed really bad. I don't really see anything missing, so I'm not really... Oh, he got my mejoberry out of my hotbar. So, yeah. Okay. Every now and then you go to water and tap Y, get a drink, keep your water full. While you're exploring and adventuring, you gotta get them berries at the start so that you can have something to eat. Gotta watch for more Pecomastix trying to get in your face. Man, them things can get really aggravating, especially when you have some good gear on your hotbar that you don't want to lose. They'll bleed you dry. He run off into the woods. I'm not going to chase him down. I didn't really have anything I needed right now. Come on, give me this bush. Sometimes it's hard to find the right spot to be able to gather something, and sometimes you just can't because it's inside a rock or inside a tree, and you just can't get that sweet spot you need to be able to gather it. Okay, I'm just going to focus on getting a little resources right here and a little food. Okay, I'm gonna get some more wood. Okay, so my weight bar is filling up, and you'll notice that right now I'm starting to move slow. That means that my weight is almost at capacity. So if I was to look at my weight stat, you'd see it's 110.9 out of 130. That means I'm getting really full. So I'm going to get rid of everything that I absolutely don't need. And a stemberry seed I don't need at this moment. Narcoberry seed I don't need at this moment. And everything else I want to hang on to because they're resources that I want to keep because I'm trying to build some things. So I'm going to go ahead and keep all those for now. Let's look and see if, okay, so yeah, this is what I was going to do, is start to craft myself some armor so that I can get, you know, some protection from the elements a little better. And I'm also going to craft one of these water skins so that I can fill it up with water and put it on my hot bar and get a drink when I need to when I'm out and about. I'm going to craft a pair of pants. They only require fiber. A shirt, it only requires fiber. Some arm wraps, it requires fiber and a little hide. And then I'm going to craft a hat. And I would craft some shoes, but it requires hide and I don't have any more. So now I'm going to go to my inventory and I'm going to equip all this stuff. And you'll see as you look at the menu on the item, you can see that it's got hyperthermic insulation and hypothermic insulation. Hyper is the protection against heat, and hypo is the protection against the cold. So you can see this item, just as a plain Jane primitive version of the item, has some stats that help you survive the elements. And then it also has 10 in armor. So as you put multiple pieces on, your armor stat will go up, and what that will mean is when something tries to do physical damage to you, you'll take less damage. So obviously the higher the level the gear you get later on in the game will have better stats than this, because this is just the basic beginner, you know, cloth armor. But that's kind of what you're looking at. It also has what's called a durability stat, and that means that when it takes so much damage that it finally breaks, the item will turn red and you won't be able to get the benefit from its stats anymore until you repair it. And the way you repair it is by using resources to fix the item. So like the pants would probably need some fiber to repair, and then, you know, anything that took hide in its creation, like the arm wraps, would probably need a little hide to help you repair. So to equip the item, you can either use your mouse and drag that item over to the slot that it occupies, and obviously pants are going to go on the leg slot, and you'll see my armor right here, and my hypo and hyper will go up as I equip it. Okay, so now I have some basic protection on, and you can see that represented on my paper doll. Now we'll take the torso and put the shirt on. We'll take the hand wraps and put those on, and we'll take the hat and we'll put that on. Now you can see that the armor is equipped on the survivor, and now it actually starts to show up in your stats as well. So now I have 40 armor protection that I didn't have before. I have 28 hypothermal and 67 hyperthermal protection. So now I'm starting to get somewhere. I have arrived, basically. Okay, get me a little drink. All right. That looks like a raptor over there in the water that's dead. We're going to go investigate that, because if that dude's dead, we could get some easy hide off that. Not sure if it's alive or if it's dead, but it kind of looks like it's dead. And I'm actually going to drop some of this stone, because I don't really need that right now. What I need is to be able to move. So I don't know what killed that thing, but I'm going to use my hatchet, and I'm going to go over there and harvest its body, because, oof, be careful, there's an alpha raptor. I need this hide. Okay. I saw an alpha raptor over there. See, oh, there's two. See those alphas over there? Those are dinos that are just way insanely leveled, and they're called alphas because if they get a hold of you, they're going to eat your lunch. And there is two of them dudes over there. So an alpha raptor is way beyond me at this stage of the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of here because those are just going to one-shot me and kill me if I'm standing over here when they decide to investigate me, if they see me finally. And I would have just had to have gotten just a little bit closer to get in their detection range. And then I would be toast because you can't outrun them. They're too fast for me at this stage. And now that we can't put points into movement speed especially, they are a lot stronger than I am. So what let's do is let's look at the map real quick. If you push the select button, you can see my character's now holding a map. I hold down the left trigger and it brings the map up to my face to where I can see it. Now I could have swore I had Survivor show up on the map selected in the options, but I guess that's not one of the things that a basic playthrough has enabled by default. So I can't see where my character is actually, so that really sucks. I need to make sure that that's selected in the settings because being able to see yourself on the map is important. Let's look at that real quick just to see if it's something I can change right here. And I don't see anything. I do not see the setting I'm looking for. Light bloom, light shaft. Okay, here we go. No. Third person camera. Okay, I do not see an option to be able to show your survivor on the map. So, yeah, that sucks. I thought there was one. I guess floating names, camera view, first person status. Allow crosshair, allow hit markers. I could have swore there was an option to show your player on the map. Okay, well that kind of messed me up for a minute, so let's get back on track. So now we're in a rock and a hard place. We want to make a base and we want to have, you know, start to build ourselves up a little bit. But we've got alpha raptors over there and we've got that nasty little Trudon dino. You can see his eyes glowing now because it's getting darker. Their eyes glow yellow in the dark. They're so creepy. But we got that little dude over there. So what we're going to do, and we've also got what's called a survivor beacon coming down and survivor obelisk beacon thing. I don't know what, I can't remember what they're called right offhand. We've got that coming down right here, and that would normally be a good one to check because it's a white one. So at our level, we're actually able to open it. They're kind of gated by level versus color. They go white, green, blue, then I think purple, yellow, red is how they go, with red being the best one that has the highest level, most high level gear in it. So I think I'm going to try my luck around this Trudon, and I'm going to try to get around this thing without getting eaten. I think I'm going to try to swim by it, honestly. So it's over there, and it's kind of stuck in a loop. I don't know what it's doing over there, but it's kind of wigging out. So we're going to try to take advantage of that and get around it. Now while you're swimming, you have to hold a button, like on the Xbox controller, it's A, to keep me going up so I stay above the surface of the water. If you go under the water, you're going to eventually lose oxygen, and you can see that O2 bottle appeared on the right side of the screen now, and you see it's going down. What will happen is if you run out of oxygen in that meter over there is you'll drown. So basically your oxygen stat that you have on your player paper doll is for how long you can stay under the water without dying, and also how fast you swim. So, okay. So it's starting to get nighttime. So you can see, and I'm actually have plenty to drink. Oh, here comes another dino. These are called compies. These can get you because they pack up on you, and there'll be 4 or 5 that'll hit you at once, and they might kind of knock, won't knock you out, but they might be able to take you out if they're high enough level. So don't underestimate the power of a pack of compies, honestly. Okay, so I'm going to get away from them and get over here, and I'm going to eat some of my berries real quick so that I can get some of that health stat back. Okay. And you can see it's starting to get nighttime, and things are a lot harder to see when it's nighttime. I must have died before when I was playing on this character, because that green beam that you're seeing is what's called, oh, and here's a raptor. So speak of the devil about dying, I'm probably going to die right here. If I can't outswim this guy, he's going to attack me and kill me, because there's just no way I can survive a raptor attack. He's already hit me 2 or 3 times, and you can see my health is way low. But like I was saying, I must have already played on this character and died once, because that green beacon that you're seeing glowing is what's called a survivor cache from where I died before. I died just now, and on the map now you can see the highlighted area where I'm at. So now I know where I'm at, because without being able to see my little arrow on the map like you normally can do, you can tell what position you're facing and where you're at. Now I can really see where I died at. So when I respawn into the game, if I don't have a bed down, then the game's going to ask me to respawn in a random location, but it's going to respawn me randomly in this area right here close to my corpse, so that I can stand a chance of getting back to my bag and finding that green beacon and getting my stuff that I had in my inventory. Because as you remember, we had made some armor and we had some resources, and while it's not the end of the world if I can't find that and get it back, at this stage of the game I would like to go ahead and get the armor back, so that I can not have to do it again. But if I can't, it's no big deal. It's not like I've lost a lot of stuff. It was just primitive cloth armor and some berries and some wood and stuff, and it's not like I can't get that again. So this is your first experience seeing a death and a respawn, and this is not going to be the last time you see this screen. I'm just going to say, because Ark is going to punch you in the face, and that's something you need to come to terms with right off the bat. If you're a new player and you want to play this game, it's fascinating. The things that you can do in Ark are so cool and so amazing. But one of the things you're going to have to come to grips with, like I said right at the start, is you're going to have to come to grips with dying, because you will die a lot. You're going to die from elements, you're going to die from falling, you're going to die from dinos attacking you, you're going to die from bosses killing you, you're going to die from diseases. There's so many ways to die in Ark. You're going to die because the game just randomly kills you. I mean, it's you're going to have to come to grips with that. Do not let that keep you from playing the game, because I promise you that Ark is also a game that is richly rewarding if you stick with it. And if you, at the start, let's say you spawn in a bad area and there's some raptors around where you spawned in at, and they keep killing you over and over and over, just spawn in a different location and try to go about it somewhere else. Right now I have South Zone 3 selected because that's where I'm at. But if I was to select South Zone 1, you see the highlighter moves over here, and this is where the game will throw you in at. If you're having bad luck in this area, try this area. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and try to spawn in the same area and show you what it's like to do an Ark corpse run, basically. You're going to try to find your death bag so that you can get your gear back. So, but like I said, just come to grips with dying. Don't let it frustrate you. I will never forget the first time I played Ark. Me and my son, we were trying to play this game, and I logged in and I got killed. A raptor was right there, right beside where I logged in, where I first spawned in. I thought, oh wow, character creation, this is really cool. I spawned in, ugh, I'm dead. And I looked at my son and I was like, what the crap just happened? And he said, Dad, I think a dino killed you. And I'm like, okay, well, I spawned back in and it killed me again. I spawned back in. I took off running because I thought I was going to be smart, and I just start running the minute I got in the game, and I got away from it for a minute, and then it chased me down and killed me again. Finally, we figured out how to switch zones, and we spawned into a different zone where there wasn't something that wanted to eat me right there where I was spawning in. And then we finally were able to play the game a little bit and learn a little bit. But I'm not going to lie, that experience was so frustrating. That's called getting arked. And you have to get through that, because once you get some levels under your belt and you get stronger and you start to put some points in health and some points in fortitude and some points in, stamina, you'll be able to survive, and you have better armor on and you have weapons to actually fight back with. If I had a good pike right now, I could kill a raptor, no problem. But I don't have those things yet, and that's the whole point, is building yourself up and surviving. This is a survival game, so don't forget that, and don't let it keep you from playing Ark. Okay, so let's respawn in random in this area.
Are you the one I've been waiting for?
And we go through this little Helena thing.
I hope so.
Some of the story.
It's been so many cycles since I was her. Do I even still remember?
I didn't expect this to happen. It normally happens on a new character
I
creation.
wasn't sure you'd ever turn up. The odds just kept getting longer. I guess I've been losing faith.
I wonder why it started now. It normally happens on new character creation. You'll see this.
You have to
Oh well,
reach me.
we'll listen to it.
Everything depends on your survival. Master this world. Make allies of its many creatures. Grow your strength and skill. Explore this place like I did so long ago. Put the pieces together and find me, survivor. You may be the
You may be the only one who can. Dun dun dun. Okay. Okay, so it spawned me back in, and it's full-blown nighttime now. I am probably, there's that raptor. No, that's not a raptor. That's an oviraptor. I'm probably pretty close to where I died, so I'm going to run down this way and see if I can see my death beacon and try to find my gear. I hear some compies behind me. Or a dodo, one of the two. Now this is one of the times where it gets difficult to play Ark, because it's so dark you can't see what's going on. For the sake of the video, I'm going to do what's called increasing the gamma so you can see better. Nighttime in Ark is cool. Don't cheat yourself the experience, survive it. But for right now, I'm trying to see if I can get back to my corpse, so you need to be able to see me do that. In the daytime, when the sun comes up, the night darkness will go away and the light will come back. But we're not there. Okay, I think I'm across the river here. I may actually not be able to get back to my corpse, because if it's across this big body of water right here, I don't know if I can swim across it or not. Oh, was that a shark? Probably. What is that? Probably a shark. Just swim by. See his little fin sticking out of the water. Okay, so what I'm going to do at this point is I'm just going to call it good, because I think I'm too far away to be able to get back to where I was. And I see a bunch of raptors over there. I would need to get across that body of water right there to get to the other side to get back to where I was. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do it with all that stuff, all that nasty stuff in the way down there. There's like 3 raptors in a wad down there, and they will just wreck me. Right now they're attacking something else, but they'll get me if I go over there. So what I'm going to do is I guess I'm going to go the opposite direction. Because right now I just don't have the power or the gear to be able to fight stuff like that off. And that's part of the process of leveling, getting stronger. Okay, I'm going to get me some berries in me so I can fight off that hunger. Okay, the hunger is going away now. Okay, let me put this level I have in. I want all that stuff. I'm going to put it in stamina so that I can continue to run away from stuff longer. And you see when I drop items in my inventory, it leaves a little bag on the ground. This cache has a 30-minute timer, so whenever on my server, the way the settings are set, it determines how long something will stay on the ground when you drop it. That bag's going to stay there for 30 minutes and then it's going to despawn. My corpse, I'm not sure what the timer on the corpse was, but it's usually a few hours. So your body should still be around for you when you die to be able to find it again. So I need to gather some more berries because I'm hungry again. And this is kind of what life is like on a survival game. You have to keep food and water in you. You have to tame dinosaurs to do the work for you and to fight for you. You have to use some dinos to gather resources to help you build so that you can have a base. I'm going to drop that. Let's eat these berries I picked up. It's not a lot, but it'll get me going. Okay, well, I'm to the point that I'm going to have to start thinking about making a base pretty soon. Something that can help me get... Oh, I see an explorer node over there. Something that can help me start to level up a little bit. This doesn't look like a bad area. I know we had some nasty dinos down there, and eventually they might find their way over here. But if I have a little bit of a base built, hopefully I can defend, hide out in my base until they go away, type of thing. Let's gather some resources. And let's think about starting to make a base over here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a simple little thatch base. And one of the things that I was telling you earlier about, like when you do what's called a note run to help you gain experience, these are the notes that you'll find. They're in little chests, and like you see this one right here says Explorer Note. It's the Stegosaurus dossier. So it will tell you about the dino, the Stegosaurus. And these little crates are usually by these kind of landmarks spread all over the map. There's 100 and something of them. So there's a ton. And when you do a note run, you usually grab like 10 to 15 of them and help you level up real quick. If I get this one right now, it's going to increase my experience gain rate. And as I do things like harvesting and killing dinos and building things, my experience will go up a lot faster for a certain amount of time. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get this because we need the XP boost. We're not going to go on a note run, but we're going to start the process off by grabbing this one right here. Okay, so I am kind of at a dilemma though. because I did want to go ahead and get this Explorer note and carry on with starting to teach you how to build a base and stuff. But I only want these videos to be about an hour long each. I don't want them to go too long because I don't think people will want to listen to me rattle on for more than an hour at a time, if that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just kind of get a little bit more done before I grab that note, and then I'm going to cut this one off for the day. And starting with number 2, we'll start the process right off the bat with grabbing that note and starting to build a base. So what we're going to do today is we're going to call it quits right here. This is how to play Ark number 1, and this is going to be where we cut it off today. I'm very thankful for you being here with me. I hope that this video will help you get comfortable with playing Ark, because like I said, ASA is right around the corner. Ark Survival Ascended is about to release in a few weeks, we hope, at the end of October 2023. And I hope that this series will help you learn how to play Ark and feel really comfortable. Hey, he wants to get in the shot too, I guess. What are you doing, bro? Get off. Get off, bro. Oh my gosh, trying to steal the limelight. But anyway, I hope this series will help you learn how to play Ark and get comfortable with it, because Ark is a very awesome and rewarding game. Heck, I've been playing it for 8 years. And if the game is good enough to hold my interest that long, it has to be super good. Yeah, I'm just telling you, Ark is an awesome game, and I cannot wait to play Ark Survival Ascended with you all. So I hope you'll come back and join me for video number 2 of how to play Ark. We'll be starting on that as soon as I get off, actually. But you won't be seeing it until I upload it in a few days. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time.